Hello guys and welcome back to port. Today with a special guest. We have Orochi. Please correct me if I'm mispronouncing.
No, you're actually pretty close. You're one of the closest ones so far, yeah.
Okay. A guy from Greece and actually community manager for wargaming in the World of Warships Legends. If you have any different title at wargaming, please tell us. Basically, hello and welcome.
Yeah, basically, welcome guys. As Papanikolis said, my name is Orochi. As I told you, it's pretty close. I'm a new CM for World of Warships Legends. Let's say a bit more focused on the mobile side of things, but generally very front-lining community management right now.
Let's say that if I type Orochi in Google, there is an anime character revealed.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I knew this was coming.
Okay.
So one of the first questions is, what's Orochi? How do you come up with his name? Do you watch Naruto? Back-to-back questions. Truth is, honest, Orochi just popped in my mind at one point, and I was like, yeah, I like this. I'm gonna take it. I started using it. And everyone started asking me, oh, so you're into Naruto? And I was like, guys, I've never watched an anime in my life.
that's very good. Yeah.
And then I learned that it was from Naruto, and it's also something from ancient Japanese folklore or something.
Yeah, indeed.
So I embraced it. I liked it.
Okay, you like it, you take it.
Yeah. Also, Papanikolis, you know how it is with nicknames, okay? Our first nicknames are not our proudest.
As always.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
My first nickname, I remember it was on PlayStation 3, was Panos GR98.
Excellent.
It's simple.
Yeah, simple, and I'm gonna say 90% of the people actually, yeah, a nickname Panos or Nick or his birth date or something mixed with characters like Punisher, Killer.
Don't forget the XX,
yeah,
and then
XXX, triple X. That's going.
Yeah. But what was your first nickname now that we're on a podcast? I also have to ask you. Okay. I don't know if someone has actually asked me in the past.
But never. My first nickname was Junior, because I was in my family the youngest member that has
the Junior.
Yeah, so
yes.
I was Junior. They called me Junior in every game tag or name tag, because I was also in arcade games a lot. So you know how arcade games work. If you had the best score, you had to type 3 initial. So my nickname was JNR from Junior. So that was my main nickname back in the old days of arcade. And I think I kept it till PlayStation 2 or 3, I don't remember. But then changes.
Papanikolis. You're speaking about arcades and stuff and how they worked. I don't think you remember my age, do you?
Come on. I'm pretty old, but I think that I'm young enough to remember good game eras. So let's start with something else, because it is a new year. We are going through 2023, and a lot of people are taking resolution. They make dreams, they make targets. Are you a guy that says new year, new me, or you are the old punk that it was 20 years before and you don't change? What are your resolutions and your target for 2023?
I mean, I do have some resolutions. Well, I wouldn't call them resolutions. I'm not really the guy that says, okay, it's New Year, I have to do something now. I started doing my new theme, let's say, my new goal is to actually be a bit healthier in my life in general. So I guess you can say that my goal for 2023 is to get back in shape, basically. A few hours ago, today, I was actually in the gym.
You want to keep fit? You want to be fit? You want...
Right now, I'm not that fit, I'd say, but we're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Slowly, but steady.
Small step, they will lead you to the perfection that you are seeking for. But it is
yeah. But what about you though?
It is a nice goal. Personally, I don't have. I'm not the guy that says New Year, New Me. I'm the guy. I'm the old dog that never changes, that has old habits that kept going. But I think I am in a good level in fitness, because I'm a guy that always I'm active a lot and I'm doing things around. But my resolutions or my goals for this year is to stay healthy. That's number one, and also to be more productive around my family, my friends, and all my people and the buddies that I don't. I wasn't there because of the lockdown that kept us away from people that we love and family, close people that we have in our heads. So I'm going to be more in person-to-person interaction this year, and to meet new friends and new enemies.
New enemies.
Yeah, new enemies, because
that's I mean, apart from the enemies part, I find the rest pretty good.
And you are
I'm a mobile enjoyer.
Yeah, mobile enjoyer. So I think that wargaming picked you up with a reason. Can you explain us how you get with wargaming? Because I know your recent past is competitive gaming, and you have a lot of experience in gaming and esports. So could you please tell us about it a bit more?
I'll try to keep it as short as possible, but in general, I started working in esports events, and in general in the competitive gaming industry quite early. I was quite young. I was like 16 years old when I was writing my first articles, actually.
Pretty impressive.
In a Greek website, talking about I think it was Hearthstone decks or something.
Yeah.
And then that was the beginning. Then I started getting into offline events. Not on Hearthstone, but general ones. I think you know Gameathlon in Greece, don't you?
The Gameathlon. It is.
Like I started. Yes.
It is, for the peeps that they don't know, it is something like a marathon, but it is on games.
It's basically a 2 or a 3 day event that includes a lot of games, both casual, competitive, like literally everything, cosplays, like everything. That hundreds of PCs, like an amazing time there, and it's done in an Olympic stadium basically, so you can imagine the scale. Like when I started there, I was carrying around chairs and PCs and setting up monitors because I really wanted to get into that scene, and that was, I'd say, my first real contact with gaming and people that really enjoyed gaming and being parts of communities in their respective games. Later on, I started getting into more esporty kind of positions, and I was basically making myself to be a multi-tool, because esports back then was not a really established industry,
and especially
with competitive teams and stuff,
and especially in Greece, esport was something like they look to you like an alien. If you say I am in a clan and we play esport competitive games, and they look to you like, what? It
wasn't a fun time, especially you can imagine me trying to explain that to my Greek parents. It was rough. Okay. But moving on, I started working with some organizations in Greece. At some point, I was working in Papanikolis, the esports division. Then I moved to some other orgs in Europe, back again in Greece, and in the meantime, I was also a professional commentator, which is I was just like a football commentator, just commentating on esports games. I did that on Fortnite, I did that on Hearthstone, and I even did that in World of Warships at one point, which was really, really fun.
Okay.
But overall, in my experience, in all those years in esports and competitive organizations, I did pretty much whatever I could get my hands on. And a big part of what I did was actually community management. Community management and mostly community growth, which we are still lacking in like esports, is something that I really got into. Like I got my hands dirty basically and started working on it, trying to learn wherever I could. Small tips how to grow a community from literally zero. And while I was in this whole from organization to organization, from project to project theme, I also had my mobile experience and my experience with mobile esports communities, which were micro communities, but that really helped me understand how the infrastructure is. Yeah, like the infrastructure on mobile communities is a bit different, I'd say, but the main idea stays the same. Like you're still speaking about people that are passionate about the game, that wanna help each other, that wanna be part of something bigger, and yeah, like that's about it.
Okay, so
moving for that, like small little note. Last year I also finished my studies finally. With a master's degree in digital and social media marketing, and that's when I started looking for a more serious company to work on, a more serious job, and I didn't apply to many companies. Wargaming was one of them. I knew the game, especially from PC, so as soon as I got an offer, I took it.
Okay,
you know?
So Wargaming saw something into you, and I think especially in the growth of the mobile community, because we all know that Wargaming is starting a parallel input on the mobile game. So we're gonna have soon, I don't know how soon we are gonna have it, but there is a mobile game that is connected with Legends, and it started to appear in some countries, first as a test, and now it's starting to grow. I don't know how many countries now are involved in the
there is a soft launch right now.
Okay.
We have a soft launch in Canada and the Philippines.
Okay, so it's starting to grow, it's starting to take shape, and now we are going to see more of that. There are players that interacted with the mobile. They are giving their advices, how the game is played, how the game appeared, and all of that. So there is a constant hard working from Wargaming to release a mobile version of Legends that is going to be connected with the console version, as I understand, back in time. So we are pretty close to something good. And now here comes you. I think that you are involved in the part of the mobile game, or you are kindly new and you don't know exactly where things are going. What is your position, your expertise at the moment?
Like my expertise, I'm obviously not the one developing the mobile game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my programming experience is at least subpar.
Okay.
But I'm going around in all the communities, all the avenues, all the touch points I can have with the community to get and gather feedback on the current mobile version. Obviously, because we're only in 2 countries right now, we don't have that many players as we would have in like a global release, and I'm trying to get every single feedback point I can get, and understand what can be improved, what can be better, because obviously World of Warships Legends is a console title, or was until recently a pure console title. So getting a console title to mobile, being mobile friendly, is not an easy feat. But we do have very talented people working at Wargaming, and with given time and feedback, obviously, I think we can end up with something really nice for my fellow mobile enjoyers.
Okay, so let's keep it up, because the Legends is coming from the World of Warships PC, so it is a PC game. The core of the game, it is a PC game that was released in 2015. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And now
Legends?
Yeah, not the Legends. I mean, the hardcore game was first in PC, and it was released in
World of Warships PC.
World of PC.
I think that's about right. Maybe
2015.
1 or 2 years off, but
okay.
I can't do the math right now.
Okay, so it was then the game was successfully at the release and kept off growing a lot. So the version that we have in the console was something new, as I remember when the game hit the console versions. So it was something different from PC. It was another part that was developing the game. I mean, not the PC developers. It was something else, another small team that had other plans about the game. So it was successfully in the consoles too, and now the game is going from the PC to consoles, and now they're going from consoles, they are going to mobile also as a parallel version to keep going. But I have a question here. I don't know if you can answer to us, but why have Legends in mobile, but we have the Blitz in mobile too? I mean, the World of Warships Blitz is something different.
It is a different game.
Okay.
World of Warships Legends and Blitz obviously have a lot of differences. Right now we're just focused on bringing World of Warships Legends as Legends. On mobile.
Okay, so that was my main question about it, because it is a serious thing to move on from console to mobile. But as I read about the mobile version, it's gonna be interactive with console. I mean, you can switch from console to mobile, or you can hit some some borrow things from your mobile. You can tick it up on your console. I mean, it's gonna be some interaction, or it's gonna be a different project. I mean, I have an account on console at the moment on PlayStation. When I will take the mobile version, it's gonna be bond together my account. And
yes, you can obviously sync your accounts and have everything you have on console, basically, or on mobile.
Okay, so it's gonna be via versa, console and mobile. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, you can check your bureau progress. You can play a couple of games. It's
okay.
You know,
okay, I understand now. So please tell me, as a mobile enjoyer, do you think that mobile players can be competitive against console players?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to give me 5 reasons that mobile players can fight at least at the same rules and at the same peak with console guys. I mean, please, let me take my console version. Okay, I'm a console player. I sit in my couch. I have my controller with my, how many buttons? 20, 15 combination I can have in my hands. And you are sitting in your couch as well, and you have only your fingers to tap in a mobile game. Do you think that we both are competitive? Before you answer to that, I'm leveling up the question and say, can I be competitive as a console player with a PC player? What do you think about that? But let's start together in the...
Okay, there are multiple things here. First of all, I don't understand what competitive console player versus a competitive PC player can mean, because how can you play versus a PC player? So there is, I really can't answer that. But let's go to the question, the burning question right now. How can you be competitive on a device that has no buttons, and a device that has some buttons? And the answer is, Yeah, of course you can be. The button and the layout that you have on a console with your controller is transferred on screen. Depending on the grip you use, like we're going into very technical stuff on mobile, but you can use your 2 thumbs, you can use 4 fingers, you can use 2 fingers on one side, 1 finger on the other. Yeah, I don't see the limitation there. Like, I'd even turn the question around and ask you why you think there's a difference there. I mean, one of our CCs, Alex Android, I think you've encountered him one or two times. The guy is doing like 200k battles on mobile.
Mm-hmm. He's crazy. Like,
you need to see some of my battles as well. I don't see. I think it does it needs some getting used to. Like a console player will not just grab a phone and be instantly at 100%.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Play like 15, 20, 30 battles. You're gonna be like almost there. It's the same as what are you playing on? Are you playing on PlayStation or an Xbox?
I'm on PlayStation.
Like on a PlayStation, if I give you an Xbox controller, will you instantly be able to play at 100% of your ability?
No, I think I'm gonna need 3 days for me. Okay. I think I'm gonna do great in the first day, in the few hours, but I'm gonna need at least 3 days so I can, have the feel of the controller and the buttons and the array of the buttons and all the combinations that I can make without looking the controller, because that's the main difference. If you play with a controller, you don't look the controller and you don't look the button that you're gonna press. That's the difference. But on the mobile, as you said, you have your finger, you have your thumbs, you have your buttons on the screen, so it's pretty much like a controller with a wide screen, as I can imagine at the moment. So
depending on if you play on a phone or a tablet, but,
on any devices,
it will get some getting used. So I don't think it's terrible. It's not gonna be a terrible process, but you can actually get like pretty competitive on mobile. And Legends is not the only game that this has historically happened.
I've seen some people getting crazy result in Warzone or any shoot 'em up games that.
I'll raise you one. Like, I've seen people play Fortnite on a mobile device,
on tablets. Pretty crazy combination and things going crazy in the fingertips.
I think it's not gonna be.
Okay, now we solve it. That is not gonna be a problem for peeps to get used in the new layout of the controller in their mobile devices. But there are some. I'm making the devil's advocate at the moment and and picking up some questions from the peeps around the community. They say that.
Before those questions, obviously, guys, I'm relatively new. There might be some questions that I wasn't here when they were conceived, or something like that. I'll just let you know if I'm able to answer it or not.
Is there any possibility that mobile players tend to go more AFK than the console players? Because when you are a console player, you sit on your couch and you say, now I'm gonna play 1-2 hours without interruptions. But on mobile, because it gives you the ability to play anywhere around your activities, it may lead to more AFKs. What do you think about that? As a personal experience, because you are a mobile enjoyer, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously there isn't anything to support that really, but as you said, you can sit down and be like, I'm gonna play on console, on Legends console, a couple of games, and then your mother, wife, calls up, like, dinner is ready. Just pause the game, and you can't really pause the game
because it's online,
and dinner is hot. Things can happen while you're playing on console as well. Now, when it comes to when you're in the bus or anywhere, you obviously have to be a bit careful of how you organize your time and expect how long a game would take for you to be able to complete it.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I don't think it's going to be that huge of a problem. If it is, we'll see what we can do to deal with it. But I would imagine something similar to console as well. There is some penalties with the rewards and stuff if you go FK, for example.
That is the answer that I was looking for. I mean, Wargaming is taking care of things that might disrupt the balance of the game, and they want to create an event environment in both platforms, so that's very good. Okay, I think that we had a lot of conversation about mobile game, and you covered pretty well. And because the game is on soft release at the moment, I don't want to press you anymore with questions about the mobile thing, unless you have something new to tell us about it on the mobile things of the game.
Anything we have like confirmed on mobile and that we are fairly certain that's coming, it's probably also going to be announced in updates or devlogs.
Okay, so now you had some experience in the PC side of World of Warships. How was your experience on World of Warships Legends, and how you encountered that challenge of being not competitive? I mean, because you have to stream with your co-workers around Wargaming, you have to stream some games and all that stuff. Do you learn the game really quick?
It wasn't that hard for me to learn the game. I had like thousands of games on PC, so learning the differences, how the maps work a bit differently, especially size-wise. The commanders were a huge difference. Like the wildly different systems between PC and Legends. But honestly, I really prefer the commander system on Legends right now, just because of the variety and all those things you can actually do. There
is a lot of diversity, and let me interrupt you. A lot of PC guys prefer the commander system that the console versions have. I mean, it is incredible. It adds diversity. There is multiple build-ups that you can make. I mean, it is amazing. It is a very, very professional job on the commander system. Please go on.
Yeah, and when it comes to PC, a few months ago actually, I met you in Thessaloniki for the event on
Velos.
On Velos. You got to meet some PC folks as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you? Like, how do you see the differences there?
Okay.
I didn't think we got to play a lot of Legends though.
No, but it was good. It was good. From my experience when I was there in the lobby when people played Legends and I was behind the back and see what they are doing, there was a lot of PC gamers that they are really like the game and how it appears. I mean, the only problem that they have at the moment is how the camera is focusing on the ships. That was the only strange things that both PC players told me right now when they played the game. But they really were surprised about how good work it was on Legends and how things were flow smoothing, and all that stuff. And they were really surprised. But because they are PC players, they have a lot of things to involve and to prepare before a battle. Legends seem to be like more an arcade version of the PC game because it has simplicity. You know why? Because you are using a controller. You are not using your keyboard layout and your mouse in your PC, where you can click many panels, many cartels, many things around, and you can tweak things with your fingers. It's something different on the console version because you have only one controller that has few buttons, and you have to make the best of them. That was the main reason. And also, PC guys give you a lot of feedback because they are really into the game and into the mechanism of the game a lot. console players.
It was, you might have also met a lot of feedback there because it was like an offline event. It was direct IRL face to face.
Indeed.
With the wargaming base.
Yeah. I mean, it was tremendous information going. I asked many of them. We speak with many of them, and finally the Legends version was something that create happy moments, and the people were really surprised about how good it looks and feels and how smooth it was. Not compared with the PC, because they already know how PC is, but they were surprised of how the quality of the game, because they think it was a simplified version of the PC. But no, it's not a simplified version of the PC, because on Legends you have also to learn. You have to study some things if you want to be good. There is a lot of mechanisms going.
You need to dive into it. Like it's not a simplified version. Like I never thought of it as a simplified version. Making that transition, I just think of it as a different version.
It is a different version, and everyone that played the game and tested says exactly the same things. That you have to dive in. You have to learn some things. I mean, you can learn it faster when you are transitioning from the PC to the console version, but you also have to study the commander system and some builds around.
The commander system was like, until today I'm not sure I know everything by heart. It's so much.
It really was a good event. It was a great event, and
you liked it?
Yeah, we met a lot of people. Like I said, the resolution things, the goals for the peeps and me, and also we met a lot of clan members from Greece, and some people around the globe also were there. But it was a tremendous event, and I like it very much. A lot of feedback, and that was really good for me.
Like the thing is, I really enjoy those events. Like because events is what brought me really into gaming, esports, and community management. Like having all those people having fun, everyone having fun, making sure everyone's having fun, getting some really nice t-shirts too. That's just what I live for. Like honestly.
Let's go to the community questions, because some peeps ask about you. And they have some really good questions. So let's start in the random order and ask it. Okay. How much do requests and suggestions from Reddit alter your plans for development? So this is a pretty Reddit questions, but it was placed on the Back2Port Discord, and says generally, I mean, that user, the Lemonhead, it is a Reddit user, but he's speaking about the feedback and the suggestions that you put from Reddit or other platforms on social media to alter your plans for development. How does that came?
Okay, so as a community manager and the team as community management, we want to gather feedback from our community. How our community feels about some things, what's their suggestions, since we're speaking of suggestions, like new things that can come into the game. I think the main portal for that is the feedback section on
Discord,
the main Discord.
The official
example,
Discord, yeah.
The official Discord, and we also scout on Reddit and the rest of the social media to get all those points. Which we then gather forward to the devs and see if there's something we can do, see if there's something that we can change, see if there's something we can add. I can tell you specifically for mobile, I am going through every single available channel for that feedback. It doesn't matter if it's Reddit, it doesn't matter if it's like Facebook, Twitter, even TikTok, like at one point. There is a lot of work being done in gathering this feedback and forwarding it.
Mm-hmm. So guys, if you have any mobile issue, you know the guy that you're gonna...
I'm the guy, and you also know the chat. We have a dedicated mobile feedback section on the official Discord. I'm pretty much all the time looking at it. I even speak with some people in DMs if they have like a more pressing question or something they really want to analyze and explain. Like I'm open to that. Like you have any feedback on mobile, come to me. Like honestly, I'm looking for it. I'm actively searching for feedback. Yeah.
Okay, so let's start another question. Who wins in a fight between Cyprus and Greece? That was asked from D-Ribs. I know that question has a fun topic, but come on. Why fight brothers?
Cyprus and Greece, like in what? Like military? Or?
No, generally. I mean, he doesn't know that Cyprus and Greece were like brothers and they don't have anything to fight. I mean, I don't see anything to fight between.
I mean, we almost speak the same language.
Yeah.
Like people are really kind, really welcoming with each other. Like I don't think there's any point in that question, if I'm being honest.
And you know, the questions kept going. Seftalya versus Gyros. I think both are great.
Seftalya versus Gyros. Sorry, it's Gyros. Feta versus Halloumi. Goes to Halloumi. Yeah. I'm really sorry.
Sorry, but I mean, we are even at the moment. Yeah, so I don't think that we have something else. Okay, so let's see another question from Lokadon. He says, why was it decided to close the CC program in the Russian Federation? Why was part of the CC broadcasting in Russian transferred to the European division and part was abandoned? Okay, so it is the serious questions about the things that happened in the CC program. I know that I have that answer to the questions, and it's really simple because as Wargaming has left Russia and the platform stores are closed there, the team is moved to Europe. They have no way of fielding the CC program in their region. So, and actually, I speak with Filigula and said that there is only one CC left in the Russia-speaking realm from Estonia, but that's gonna be for the foreseeable future. Wargaming thanked the guys for their efforts and they hope that it's not the last goodbye. So it leaves with a small window that things may be back in normal. But at the moment,
I think that's a pretty complete answer. Yeah,
that's the things going in it. Another question that picked from Reddit because it was a really good question. Is there any ETA on an English flag arriving in the game anytime soon? And the user is Rob1E and says, odd that we don't have yet, given the history, scale and structure of the Royal Navy. Still
so like an English flag, like something specific?
Specific, because the user says that still contenting myself with the Warspite Black, and that's about a year and a half now. I think there is a navy.
It does sound like an interesting idea. So like, you can probably reach out to me and give me like your full idea.
Your suggestions.
We'll look into it. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good.
We can look into that.
Okay, let's see another one. That one is pretty hard, but it's a good question. It says Commander resets. When this game released, you had to wait for RNG to give you the commander you wanted. We also got next to nothing for duplicate commanders. So many of us had to dump vast resources into commanders we didn't want just to stay competitive. Then Wargaming changed the commander and added universal personal commentation and told us an ability to reset our commander was in the works. That was 2 years ago. Native Sun 508. That was the user from Reddit that asked that question. What do you think about commander reset, and do you think that it's gonna happen in the future? It is on the works? You don't know nothing about it? What do you think?
I don't have any like updates on that, and that's definitely something I wasn't here for when it happened. So I'm not exactly sure on that one.
Okay, it's still remaining. I'm gonna comment it as it's still remaining a problem because, you know, when you are a new player in the game, you don't know exactly where to put your resources on. Some people put the resources or the first commander they have and they start to grind up the resources from the commander. And I think that you already know how hard is to top up a commander in this system on the console. So many people, I'm gonna say, discouraged to continue that thing and that grind because the resources are pretty limited in the game. So they wanted a fair tactic. I mean, they wanted a commander reset. So guys, I don't think that you have wrong at the moment with a commander reset, but it is something that many people want to have because they want to rebalance some commanders they have. But I also am gonna add this as my personal view. I think that wargaming is fearing that those movements on the resources is gonna create something like unbalances in the game, because many people are now know what commander they want to level up and may lead to some unbalances at the moment. So that's my personal opinion about that, and please receive it with a pinch of salt. Are you happy working in the wargaming industry with your fellowships and around? Because there is a question from Rockstabber saying, what is your ship preference? We know that Final Boss likes carriers and Robin hates his battleship. What is your ship's preference? Are you a CC main? Are you a DD main? What do you play the most?
So, honestly, I have a pretty diverse roster of ships that I enjoy playing. Like different tiers, different tiers of ships, different types of ships. I try to keep up with whatever is happening in the game, and obviously if there are ships being added, new content, I try to play that. So I wouldn't say I have like a favorite type of ship or tier of ship. Maybe I'm more into battleships, but yeah, no real preference. Like I try to play everything.
Okay, I think that the best thing to do in that game is to play anything, everything, and learn the weakness of each ship, so you can perform better if you came along with that ship or against.
Basically, I'm not one tricking one type or one ship. Like I try to play everything.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I feel a bit more adventurous. I go with like Paolo Emilio. Sometimes I play some CVs, maybe some gunboat destroyers. I really like playing Friesland, for example.
Mm-hmm. You like Friesland? Interesting. Yeah.
Like the different ships, like all over the place. I can switch from playing tier 3 to tier 7 to legendary to like back to tier 5. Like if you see my match history, like it's wild. Like no correlation like between battle and the other. But sometimes I also just sit down and be like, okay, so today we're gonna grind this ship line, or and I just go through it. I think I'm doing it now with Panasia.
Yeah.
Destroyers.
Strong line. It is a strong line. I like it.
Yeah, overall, trying to keep up with the game, try to learn new stuff. I don't consider myself a master of the game by any stretch, but I'm learning slowly.
Okay, we got it. So, last question for me to close the podcast as an English version, because, guys, there is nothing hilarious that listening to Greek guys speaking English each other. So
we're not that bad. Come on.
okay. Let me tease something. When we're gonna close the podcast, the English podcast, we're gonna have a 10-minute or 30-minute session in pure Greek for the Greek guys that they're gonna stay, for the Greek community that is gonna stay after the end of the podcast. So if you are a Greek guy and you want to hear your local version, stay with us till the last questions. So my final question, Mr. Panos, is how was the migration from Greece to the Eastern Europe, or actually to the Center Europe?
Center Europe.
Yeah, Center Europe, and how that thing went? Because when you are from Greece, you have your sun, you have your activities, you have your parties, and you have something like, I'm gonna say, you have not the great time of your life. It is an easy life with no stress, but depends where you live. But sun is shining, people are happy, the cafes are full with people drinking cafes.
Drinking
frappe,
Yes.
Freddo espresso. That's
Yes.
the main thing that Greece produce at the moment. But how was the migration to the Central Europe? And actually, you are on Prague. Okay, you are on Prague.
I'm in Prague right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
how was that transition from Greece when you accepted the job, and how things going in Prague?
Okay, so before I had anything to do with working, I traveled a little bit in Europe. I worked in like international organizations, teams, so due to esports. So I was kinda okay with the European and international mentality outside of Greece. Greece is a bit more chill. We do things a bit more halara, as we say. I guess traveling, moving, obviously was a bit of a challenge, finding the right place. But overall, I speak few languages. I'm trying to learn Czech right now, so
interesting.
Not much trouble there. I think the main issue for someone traveling moving from Greece would be the lack of sun that Central European suffers from. But being an avid gamer at heart, my relationship with the sun was not the best.
Excellent.
Yeah. So,
That's grass. Don't forget.
Yeah, basically. But when I moved, that's the first thing I noticed. Obviously, I saw snow here, which is amazing. We don't really get a lot of snow in Greece, especially in like Athens. And after snow comes also icy roads, which was also something that was a different experience for me. But overall, it wasn't that bad. Like, I think Prague is a beautiful city,
Yeah.
one of the best in Europe, if not the whole world.
It's very, very, very well designed city with superb.
Everything looks nice. You don't have a lot of places in Prague that are like not well maintained or bad, ugly looking. Like, everything looks really nice.
Excellent. So that was your life. I think that you are adjusting to the Central Europe movements and culture. Do you drink beer? Because I think it's free there, almost free.
It's not free, but yeah, I enjoy the occasional beer.
Okay, because I think that beer is more cheap than water in Prague. That's some people told me when they are in Prague, because the water is more expensive than beer. So you may drink a lot of beer. That's good. That's what Final Boss said in some of chats that we had back. Anyway, so I think that was the podcast. If you have anything to ask me, you can ask me, because I'm really open to any questions from anyone. So you can ask me anything you want.
Yeah, I'd love to ask some questions, especially when it comes to this podcast, actually, because like historically, I've been really interested in content creation and content creators, of course. Been working with a lot of them as well over the years, and this podcast is actually something different than the usual content that is being produced in general for World of Warships. How did you come up with this idea? Like, how did this all work? How did you decide to make the podcast?
Basically, the most part of the team on the Back to Port server is Reddit moderators. I mean, we had great connected people with Reddit moderators. We had a team, so we were constantly searching things to spice up the community. We're constantly searching things to connect together and to be more productive on certain sectors and points. Because the Reddit community was pretty low in numbers when the game started, so we put a lot of effort in making this community something better, a better place to be and act, react, comment, and be like a part of a family. So that work that we put it back in time make some strong bonds with each other. So we had some ideas of creating a podcast because lockdown was happening there back in time. So we didn't have any things to interact. We were sitting all day in our home offices, name it. So I had an idea first with some milliseconds second Rogue PLC, another moderator that came in that day, to create a podcast. And also I had an idea of creating a platform for introduction of all the people that work around Legends, the CC, the influencers around Legends, the main community managers of Legends, because it is such a good team that we work together in many projects. So we really knew each other a lot. So I think that we took the opportunity to make it happen and introduce the community manager, like you, for example, in the community with not such a strict, how I'm gonna say, with a strict portrait. A podcast is a chill way to introduce.
We're hanging out, just having a chat.
Just like having a normal chat without limits. I mean,
Drinking Alfredo espresso.
Exactly. Like sitting in a table and speaking about the game, speaking about the same ideas or the main things that we want to change and all that stuff. So, Back to Port was created. It was created and it's still going without any, I'm gonna say, hard effort, because community love it. We're still going, we're still producing episodes. We're making also our steps to the PC community to have some members from the PC to speak about the game, but we really are making our efforts to speak about Legends and our main problems about the game, some solution, some things that we may think that we gonna find some solutions in the main problems of Legends. I mean, because not any product is perfect, but if you polish any product constantly, it's gonna look perfect. It's gonna maintain its freshness and all that stuff. So I think that's why we are here and speaking about it. And I think that World of Warships Legends, it has still to give to the players, and that's why we are here. Because it's not a dead game, as people say. Some people say in communities. It may has its up and downs, but it really has its hardcore community. But I have to say, we are a niche community. I mean, we are not Call of Duty, we are not Warzone. We don't have millions of players like them, but it is a niche community that it's focused on certain things, on ships, for example. So, but I think people that they are here, they really loved the game. That's why they are here. This is the main reason and how we end up here as a podcast.
Yeah, I see. I always like I like to see those initiatives. I really like to see content that actually requires some effort. That's just how I was raised in the internet. Like I really like to, I love to see people actually trying to produce the best content possible, and that's, I think, the idea and the mindset that everyone needs to have when they try to go live on a live stream or click record on a YouTube video or record on on a podcast.
Yeah.
And we'd love to see more, honestly.
Yeah. You know that the main target that we had with the team of the podcast was we need to create the information, we need to spread it fast, and we need to spread it with low data, meaning that you can stream a podcast with only spending few of your mobile data, of your internet data, and all that stuff. You can upload the podcast pretty easy because it is a diversity form of information, and also it helps people to be focused on something and hear the podcast without looking at a screen. You can put your headphones, you can go at work with your dog or with your friend and hear the podcast. You can drive in your car and put the podcast on Spotify, for example, and until you go to work you can hear the latest news or your news about your favorite CC or about your favorite community manager or your new community manager that is coming, for example, like you, the profile of the community manager. So that was very good.
Okay, then should we switch to the
Greek version? Now we're gonna say goodbye to the English version and to the English tips that they are hearing us. Thank you for joining us. If you are a Greek guy and you want to hear some Greek people speaking, or if you are curious how Greek speaks, you can stay about 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Okay,
you can enjoy the Greek ASMR, I guess, from now on.